Welcome back, colleagues. Let us continue with the presentation. Now we're going to look at the amendments to school-based assessment. We will talk to the number of tasks. There are no amendments in the number of tasks and also mark allocation. So we have got 7 tasks for the senior phase. They are the same with those one of the intermediate phase. In term 1, learners are supposed to write an assignment and also a test. In term 2, learners are supposed to write an investigation and a test. In term 3, learners are supposed to write a project and a test. Then in term 4, we have got end of the year examination. Colleagues, we have given guidance in a form of a note as to when to administer these tasks, especially the assignment, investigation, and the project. When you look at your ATPs, in term 1, you will find that the assignment has been given the time allocation. Please do not exceed the amount of time that has been allocated. So you are going to assess learners on the topics that have been covered. However, colleagues, for term 2, when you are administering investigation, we have put a note to say investigation must be administered on a topic or a concept that has not been taught before. So you will decide as a teacher on which topic to administer the investigation. We didn't want to limit you to say you have to administer the investigation on this topic. And also, colleagues, the investigation has to be administered in class because you don't want learners to come up with incorrect conclusions or incorrect rules. Coming to the project, same applies, colleagues. With the previous ATP, it was a footnote. But now we have brought it at the beginning of the ATP so that it strikes your attention to say that by the end of the term, learners should have administered a project. So they must be having marks for the project. The advice, colleague, or a suggestion is that you can start designing your project as early as now, and then you make learners or you allow learners to submit it according to sections in different sections or at different times, whereby they will submit section A or part 1 of the project by the end of term 1. And then they submit part 2 of the project by the end of term 2 and part 3 of the project during term 3. So that the learners are not overloaded. You will remember that the project covers the work from term 1 to term 3, and it is the application of the skills in context. However, colleagues, you need to note that if you have said learners must submit a section 1 towards the end of term 1, there shouldn't be any work that is going to be covered in term 2. Yet you are saying that learners must submit during term 1. Ensure that the part to be submitted has been taught. Coming to examinations, we do not have joint examination. We have got a control test. You will remember, colleagues, with the ATPs for 2021 and 2022, we didn't have end of the year examinations, but a test. For the year 2023 up to year 2024, we have reintroduced end of the year examinations. So from grade 7 to grade 9, we're going to have end of the year examination with paper 1 and paper 2. Those are the topics that are going to be covered in each paper. In paper 1, it will be numbers, operations, and relationships. In paper 2, it will be paper 1 is numbers, operations, and relationships, and also patterns, functions, and algebra. Then in paper 2, we have got space and shape, measurement, and data handling where applicable. When we say where applicable, it means if data handling is not there in grade 8 ATP, then you are not going to assess data handling. Coming to the weighting for the end of the year, the SBA colleagues has been revised for senior phase. Previously, it was 80% SBA and 20% end of the year test. But now for year 2023 to year 2024, it will be 60% SBA and 40% end of the year examination. I'm sure you are familiar with this. I've highlighted term 1 and term 3, the test. There it says for term 1 and term 3, it will only be the work for the term. You cannot assess any other work. But for the June test colleagues, you will cover term 1 and also term 2. Now coming to the end of the year examination, you are going to cover the work from term 1 up to term 4. You can see that for the June test, the marks differ, especially for the test especially for grade 7, 6, and grade 7, grade 8, and 9. We've got 50 marks versus the 40 marks that was there in term 1 and also in term 3. And then we've got 60 marks for grade 8, and then we've got 75 marks for grade 9. And then for the end of the year, since we said that there are 2 papers, it means that it will be those marks per paper. The grade 7 are going to write 400 marks. That is 50 paper 1 and 50 paper 2, 50 marks. The grade 8s are going to write for 120 marks, and so on. The weightings, colleagues, when they are converted, even though SA Sums is going to do that automatically for you, they are 12%, 9%, etc. However, those weightings, they come from the overall 100% weighting for SBA. I think, colleagues, in conclusion, I've spoken to all the things except the cognitive levels. Remember that cognitive levels, colleagues, are important. Learners must not start seeing different cognitive levels during assessment. You need to expose them during teaching and learning. These are the contact details, colleagues, for your provincial coordinators if you have any questions. We have come to the end of our presentation. I hope you have understood the amendments, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.